For many of us, cold weather is unpleasant, but prolonged exposure to the cold can be deadly. For this reason, our body responds in a number of ways when we are cold. You'll often notice your hands and feet are much, much colder than the rest of your body. That's because of reduced blood flow. Blood vessels constrict the amount that flows to your outer regions and instead redirects it internally. When the temperature drops, thermoreceptors in your skin alert the hypothalamus in your brain, which in turn instructs blood vessels to tighten. Sometimes the blood vessels dilate and burst, which is why your cheeks might go red in the cold. Reduced blood flow makes sure your vital internal organs are kept warm, as less heat is being lost from your skin's surface. Your heart will also beat faster in order to pump more blood around these organs to keep them warm. In emergency situations, you might even go temporarily blind, as the blood vessels in your eyes also constrict to conserve heat. The goosebumps you get on your skin is also a natural defense against the cold used by our ancestors. They were a lot hairier, so when the temperatures dropped, their body hair would stand on end to create a fluffy, insulating
Hey,
layer.
appreciate the follow.
We don't have nearly as much
HC
hair,
Kennedy.
so instead,
I know who that
we just
is.
see the
That's my
muscles around
guy.
our hair follicles
Appreciate
contract.
the follow, bruh.
This is the same reason why your nipples get hard. The muscles around your areolas contract in the cold, which makes your nipples protrude outwards. When it gets too cold, you will also start to shiver. This is your body trying to get warm by making your muscles and organs shake in order to generate heat. This muscle contraction can produce up to 600 watts of heat.
Wow.
You might get a runny nose as well. That's because our body struggles to inhale cold, dry air. Fluids in our nose are generated to moisturize the incoming cold air, but often too much is made, leading to runny noses.
They could have kept that.
Exposure to the cold might lead to you getting hypothermia.
So check this out. Listen to all these facts that's being run off just from the shift from being hot to cold. And knowing that it's about to be like that outside, it's not going to be one of them things where it's going to be like, oh, we're ready to be out here. No one's ready to be out there. Not in these, not exposed.
This is where the body
Exposure
is losing
is
more heat than it can
a
produce.
real thing.
Your body is designed to maintain a stable core temperature of 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, or 37 degrees Celsius. With hypothermia, your core temperature drops below 95 degrees. At this stage, your brain and nervous system will struggle to function. Symptoms include forgetfulness, drowsiness, and slurred speech. You might also suffer frostbite, where exposed skin gets too cold and freezes. Your cheeks, nose, and fingers are especially vulnerable, as these are the main places where blood vessels are constricted. You will feel pain in the freezing areas until eventually they go numb. At this stage, the thermoreceptors have stopped working. By this point, the skin tissue has become
that's
damaged,
tough on me.
and in severe conditions, it can turn black and fall off. In order to avoid these symptoms, best to wear proper clothing when outside, or stay indoors, nice and warm.
You heard what he said. Now listen. Listen to me carefully, y'all. It's about to shift seasons, as we know. And when it shifts seasons, all of these things are going to happen. Now, here on Expansion Pack, we got to get our base knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We got to get our base knowledge together. And the base knowledge for today is, this is what happens when it gets cold. That's our base knowledge for today. We working with that. Now, we've been working for the last 6 months, however many months, all in the heat. I'm talking about, remember the day, you probably can think in your mind, remember the day when it got hot this year? It was like, dang, it's hot. Now, when it's getting cold, it's going to be that same little thing. It's going to be like, dang, it's cold. Now, getting everything for your life together before that happens looks like what? If y'all can read, you'll see what I typed in.
Introducing the new 2-in-1
If y'all can
ED
see it,
plus testosterone
I'm gonna change the
treatment
screen.
through
Give me a
Hims.
second.
This daily dual action pill includes prescription strength to
Volunteers are out tonight offering free rides to shelters for those who are homeless, and for those who don't want to go, they're handing out some items to try to help keep them warm.
News on 6's Ashland Brothers went along with the folks from the nonprofit City Lights and shows us their work. Ashland.
Lori and Craig, this is certainly cold and sometimes hard work for these volunteers who don't know exactly what they might encounter, but they say they are 100% willing to help, especially if it saves even one person.
Come by and check on you later, okay?
Whether the weather is perfect or looks like it does tonight,
Outreach, is anybody home?
volunteers with City Lights are ready to step in and serve.
What's your name? Tommy, I'm Nick.
That's the point of the season.
You're coming with us, right?
Some people are eager to leave their tents behind.
I'm gonna put this under here, okay? Yeah. You good? Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. You ready to go? Yeah. You wanna hop in my truck in the heat? Where are you staying at? Right in that tent over there. You wanna go stay somewhere better, somewhere warm?
City Lights is providing supplies like sleeping bags and warm clothes for people who choose not to go inside.
He's not comfortable in the shelters, which is what we see a lot. A lot of our friends out here, they just have had bad experiences with some of the shelters, and it's nothing against the shelters.
People have generously donated hand warmers, hats, chapsticks, socks, and gloves, sleeping bags, and food.
We are gonna make him a hot chocolate though.
Volunteers and employees split up into teams to find and talk to as many people as possible who are on the streets.
There's some pop-up shelters that are taking people. It's warm, they've got some resources for you, and we'll give you a ride back, so you won't stuck.
And they'll
So now, no matter what you think, no matter how you feel, no matter where they actually go to, whatever, this is the result of not being prepared when that shift happens of the season. Now, we are not. I was watching well, I wasn't watching it, but Eli, my son, he was watching Over the Hedge, and he was watching it, and I'm thinking about the bear who coming to get his snacks and all his food because he need to eat because he hungry after hibernating. And now think about it. We ain't traveling. Oh, y'all heard nothing. No one heard anything. Cool. All right, so let me run that whole spill back. Hey, what's up, Stacy? All right, so look, I'm gonna run that whole thing back. All right, here we go. Welcome to another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. It's good to be in here on another Find Your Way Wednesday. I hope y'all feeling good, looking good. Everything that you eat today is tasting good, you know. All right, so I'm not gonna hold y'all up. New tradition is I'm gonna take y'all straight over into your motivation for the day. Today's motivation is for our women out there, so let's go ahead and get motivated. Motivation for women. Yeah, I know, Stacy. I fixed it as soon as it came. As soon as I peeped it, I fixed it. Oh Lord, let me go back. I done clicked on the wrong thing. Hold on, y'all. There you go. All right, here we go. And what we got? Let me know when it's back, Stacy. All right, let's go.
If you're a strong reader, if
you can't take in huge amounts of information and break it down and have it make sense. You won't even know when things are good for you or bad for you. So yes, I absolutely believe, and particularly for women and girls, because women still raise the next generation.
Let's get this audio. Let me gather myself on this audio, y'all. Hold on. All right, we should be good. Y'all should be able to hear. All right, let's go. Let's run it back.
I absolutely believe and for you. So yes, I absolutely believe, and particularly for women and girls, because women still raise the next generation. Women are at the heart of all society. We bring life, we raise life, we nurture life, we feed our families. And if we don't know what to do, if those mothers raising children don't know how to keep them alive or not expose them to diseases or to feed them when they're hungry, if they can't raise a living to bring resources in, we all struggle. Yep. So it would seem to me that if we want to solve anything, any major issue that you can think about, climate change, terrorism, poverty, inequality, it starts with an education. I don't know how we do any of it if people don't know what they don't know.
Right.
One of the challenges that formal education places before young people is that you're taught to figure out what you want to be when you grow up, right? And you're given titles, and there's a finite set of them. A lawyer, teacher, a researcher. You learn those titles, and then you do the work to get to those titles, and then you get jobs and you have careers. What I learned was none of that has anything to do necessarily with who I am, not what I want to be. What do I care about? How do I want to wake up and invest my time every day? What brings me joy? What makes me sad? We don't teach that in school, but I learned to try to find that for me and turn that passion into my career. And that was some of the best advice, because that's when I learned that I didn't want to be a lawyer, because I'd never taken the time to think about why was I going to law school. I was going to law school because I thought I should be a lawyer, not because that's who I was. It wasn't that work filled me up.
Here's why top professionals
Marshall.
are changing how they sleep.
Give it a couple more seconds, y'all. Hold on.
Anti-burnout hack.
So I had to learn how to do that, and that required networking and exposing myself to more people and more jobs and more careers and more opportunities. As a result of that, I became an assistant to the mayor in the city of Chicago. And then I went on to run a nonprofit organization, and I went on to be an associate dean at a university, and I went on to be the vice president at an academic medical center. And my life just started opening up in ways that I never predicted, because I started asking myself that one simple question: not what did I want to be, but who did I want to be?
Yes.
And how did I want to show up in the world?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you all can get the jump on starting to ask yourself that question as you go after your careers, if you're starting to think about what kind of work will bring you joy,
Respect.
because if you find that, you're going to do well at it, and everything else is going to fall into place. And it did for me. I think young people, when they think about change, you get hung up on thinking that the only change that matters is something big and huge and powerful and mighty, starting your own organization or moving the needle on an initiative. But when you're young, the best thing you can do is, number one, take care of you, because you are the best asset you can invest in at this time. So that means taking care of your space, your health, your education, protecting your heart is an important investment for the bigger picture. And then think about who's around you. Who can you really influence? Everyone can influence someone. Maybe it's a younger sibling, maybe it's a neighbor, maybe it's another girl in a class below you. Because when you think about it, younger kids, they don't necessarily look up to the teacher. They look up to the girl right just above them. So I would urge you to think about, who do you have access to right now, today, that is looking to you for guidance? They see you as a role model. Because I guarantee you there's someone in your life right now who thinks that the sun rises and sets on every word you say. Right. And I would start talking to them.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I would do small things like bring them with me when I did something unique. Taking them to a museum. It's those small gestures that matter.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not the grand sweeping actions that make change.
Let's go.
Change happens every single day with the little interactions that you have with the people in your life. Well, I mentor because I was mentored. Yeah, I think Marion Wright Edelman, one of my heroines, said, service is the rent we pay for living. And I feel the same thing. I feel like when someone invests in me, as many people have, I didn't get here on my own. I didn't get here because I was some miracle kid that had dust sprinkled on me and things just happened. There were people in my life who saw potential in me, people who didn't have to make the investment, who held a hand out and showed me the way. And some of them were much older than me. Some of them were people who were my peers or people just ahead of me. So I am a product of the generosity of other people's mentorship. So the expectation of myself is that I give that back. And it's so selfish of me that I mentor, because I get a lot out of it too. I mean, one of the best things I do is spend time with younger people, because they keep me focused. They, as I said at the top of this conversation, you all keep me clear and focused.
We're going to stop right there. Now that right there is one of the biggest, the most profound thing that she said was those small interactions. And having somebody around you that does admire what you do, that is looking to you for that guidance, that is looking up to you, Now that is important. And I guarantee if you don't have to look too hard to find them, him, her, it may be a dog, it may be your plants, it could be anything that's just needing you to be able to show it the way, help it get to that next stage, that next level, or that next thing that it is trying to accomplish. So, or he or she is trying to accomplish. Let me fix my light too now. All right, I'm shining over here. I'm shining in the shadows and in the light. Don't worry, we'll get the angles right. Anyway, let's move on to our topic today. So on Find Your Way today, we are learning. Simply learning. Now, we're not going to break down what learning is. We already do that enough here on Expansion Pack. But what I am going to do is I'm going to open us up, kind of like when you about to cook some eggs. You get your egg, it's solid, everything in there. You know what I'm saying? But in order for you to eat it, everything got to come out. Then you mix it back up. Then you put it back in. You know what I'm saying? You eat. So that's what we're going to do today. So we got everything in here that we think we know, we want to know, and da-da-da-da-da. So in order to find our real way, we're going to bust that open, scramble him down, cook him up. Here's your brain on whatever you're on. And today we on some higher knowledge. And we're going to eat it or serve it back up like some good soul food for ourselves, to be able to look back and reflect upon where it is we came from and where it is we want to get by educating ourselves. So let's go ahead and do this thing. We're going to start off with some good old fashioned wisdom. Don't ask me how I find this stuff. I just do. Oh, dang.
One day, a senior monk and a junior monk were traveling
let's watch
together.
this one.
Eventually, they reached a fast-flowing river they needed to cross. As they were preparing, they noticed a young woman who was also trying to make her way to
what's
the
up,
other
Z?
side. She approached the monks and asked if they could help her cross the river. The
Hope
two
you
monks
enjoy
glanced
this.
at each other.
Hold on, I'm gonna run it back.
Because
I'm gonna run it back for y'all because the screen, y'all couldn't see the screen, huh? Z, J, or 8. It's a user on.
One day, a senior
let's rock.
monk and a junior monk were traveling together. Eventually, they reached a fast-flowing river they needed to cross. As they were preparing, they noticed a young woman who was also trying to make her way to the other side. She approached the monks and asked if they could help her cross the river. The two monks glanced at each other because they had taken vows not to touch a woman. But then, without a word, the older monk picked up the woman, carried her across the river, placed her gently on the other side, and carried on his journey. The younger monk couldn't believe what had just happened, and an hour passed without a word between them. 2 more hours passed, then 3. Finally, the younger monk could not contain himself any longer and asked his master, "As monks, we are not permitted a woman. How could you then carry that woman on your shoulders?" The older monk looked at him and replied, "I left the woman there. Are you still carrying her?" One day, a senior monk and a junior monk were
Yeah. Let's keep going. Let's go. Oh, there you go. He knew exactly what I had needed.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
All right, let's go.
Once the cup is empty, now it can be filled up again.
And we ain't gonna watch
What
the whole
is it
thing.
that might be the key that you learn to let go of something? And
Yes,
this
sir.
letting go is of course going to be uncomfortable.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because it is something that no one normally in our school systems, you don't find the subject how to let go.
Yes, sir.
You find the subject how to get more.
Yes, sir.
And so that means in that moment when people are getting confronted the first time with this type of teachings, it's uncomfortable. And so someone is always confronted.
Yes, yes, it is.
Then
it
he's
is.
brought down.
It
then
is,
he gets message how he will build
Z
himself
said
up
it's,
again.
that is
then
powerful.
He gets smashed
We
down.
have to
again.
leave some things behind.
And so it continues.
Yes. Yes.
Every time when we as humans feel something is lacking, the answer is just consume more, which means just go out and look where are you going to find something that is going to fill up that gap, to fill up that hole that you are feeling. That is the approach that we have outside. But by observing this type of behavior, I think you can see that no matter how much you consume, no matter how much of these offerings you are taking, you never become full. It's always only a question of time until your new desire starts to arise.
So, where are you at right now with your understanding of where you're headed? Now, let me say that again. Where are you at right now with your understanding of where you're headed? We all have a place in our mind, you know, maybe in our day that we want to try to, you know, move to. In order to get to that place, we have to know where we are. Hence, Find Your Way Wednesday. Forget everything. Consider at this moment right here, 24 minutes into the show, you're lost. And you don't know where you're at. In order to be able to really truly gather your surroundings and take in the information of where you're at. See, what I mean is, you look around and be like, yeah, you know, I know that spot. I know this place. I know I've been doing this for a while. And then you fill yourself up again. Instead of picking up new stuff, like he said in the video, you just, or he didn't say this specifically, but instead of picking up new things from a new environment, you just end up bringing all the old stuff that you had, just like the other monk said, along with you. You still carrying it. Now you've went to a new city, new place, new job, new friends, new whatever, and all you did was bring the old understanding along with you. Now, with that right there, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna play some more of this video because I just unlocked something within myself. I have been doing that for 5 years exactly now, because it's been getting me through. I'm not gonna completely abandon it, not to be long-winded, but I've changed environments, I've changed people, I've changed behavior, and I can't fully absorb all the new things that are to be rewarded to me unless I kick all of that no and all of that I got this or I already figured that out to the side and really open myself up to something new. Hence, crack the egg and let it, you know what I'm saying, let it spill out. All right, we back in, y'all. Let go.
It always just fills that small gap, that small hole.
Hey, what's good, Beat Beast 28? Good to have you in here.
This feeling that suddenly something has hit really deep, has packed the core.
Oh yeah, I know. I told you.
This is the essence
Turn it down, son.
Of what we call the Zen teachings, the Chan teachings, where the Shaolin Temple belongs into. These are the teaching methods, meaning getting out of the comfort zone is part of the process.
Yes.
If I realize somebody already starts to feel like very confident again, yeah, very bright, then I know, okay, it's time to shut him down again. So someone is always confronted between here, then he's brought down. Then he gets methods how he will build himself up again. Then he gets smashed down again. And so it continues. Last week you said I should do like this. So you told me to go in this direction. Today I'm asking you the same question, but you are telling me I should go in that direction. And I said, yes. 3 weeks after, Shifu, now you tell me 3 different things. This direction, that direction, and then once again, you're telling me in this direction. What type of teaching method is that? It is for you to figure out yourself after you have wandered between the different extremes that are existing. First, I push you in that direction.
Yes, sir.
Then you walk.
Yes, sir.
Then I tell you other direction. Then you walk there. Then maybe we change again. Then you walk back there.
Yes, sir.
Until you realize it's not here and it's not here. It's all of that. That's possible.
It's cool because I kind of been playing with that idea myself in my mind. See, I got a belief, I'm gonna touch on this briefly. See, I got a belief that you don't get it until you got it. Like any reasonable, I feel any reasonable adult person of a certain level of maturity understands here. What I mean is, you may walk the road that is headed into whatever direction you're going, but you will not reach your destination until you reach your destination. So I'm gonna end it with this. That might be too vague. Let me end that little spill with this. On a trip to anywhere, you could be going to Jamaica. You be going to Bahamas. Your destination is out of view, meaning you can't see it, for 99% of the travel. 99% of the voyage, the journey. Your destination is out of view. It's only when you flying in on that runway, sailing in on that ship to the harbor, that you finally see your destination. Same thing with life. Same thing with life. All right, let's rock. So we learning. Now I done open us up, done bust us down. You know what I'm saying? And, wow, we open, we spilled out, we trying to see what it is we got, and we got trying to cook up something new. All right. So the only way to do that is to learn. All right. Now we're gonna start small. We're gonna start simple with some fun stuff. Only way for us to find our way through this stuff is to learn how to eat. Now I'm just starting with this because it's fun. Ooh, wait. I don't know how to use chopsticks, so let's stop here briefly.
This is how I teach people how to use chopsticks.
My man.
Your first chopstick is like a pen, pencil, or paintbrush because you
Yes,
hold
sir.
it exactly the same. It's supported by your middle, index,
Yes,
and
sir.
thumb. Now
Okay, hold on,
insert
let me
the
go to
second
big
chopstick
screen.
in the web brush because you hold it middle, index.
Sorry, it's chopped.
The gripper.
All right. All right, we back. So just in case you missed that, let's run it back.
This is how I teach people
saving this, too.
how to use chopsticks. Your first chopstick is like a pen, pencil, or paintbrush because you hold it exactly the same. It's supported by your middle, index, and thumb. Now insert the second chopstick in the web of the thumb. Support
I
it
got no pen up
with
here.
the ring finger. That way, the painting chopstick becomes the gripper, and that is your articulation how to use chopsticks.
Okay, hold up.
This is how I...
Hold up. Just about something over there. I only got one chopstick right now. Hold up. Hold up. You don't see no pen or pencil? Dang, I was gonna try to see if I can pick up the chapstick or something with my, now that I got the understanding. All right, we're gonna move forward. By the end of the episode, maybe I can get me another pencil and I can chopstick him down. But that's for everybody who don't know how to use chopsticks. Now look at this. We learning about each other. If y'all ever want to take me out, they got chopsticks. Don't let me use the fork. Hey, be like, remember that episode when you had said you gonna learn how to use them chopsticks? Here you go. You know what I'm saying? So look, all right. So let's move forward. Let's go.
Pebble poops, stuck poop, loose poop, meet regular
What?
poops. Seeds DS1
Really?
is clinically proven to
I'm
promote
sorry,
regular-
y'all.
Well, it's pretty common knowledge that
Let's
certain
go.
foods are healthy and others aren't so much. It's pretty rare that you ever get an explanation as to why. And one thing that bothers me quite a bit is when someone says to eat something because it's good for you or it's a superfood. And almost universally what that really translates to is it grows in nature. Ironically, half the time it only grows in nature because we've selectively bred it over thousands of years to be that way. And when half of our leading sources of nutrition advice are Pinterest recipes, a lot of what we consider common knowledge is actually completely made up. As an example, one of the most common terms you'll see online with regards to healthy food is that something gets rid of toxins in your body, which really doesn't make any sense. If your body is filled with toxins and certain foods remove them, then that means we could have brought back Steve Irwin with a blueberry smoothie. In reality, almost all supplements or foods that get rid of toxins are really just laxatives or diuretics, so it makes you feel like they're somehow flushing something away, when in reality you could have just put 3 shots of vodka in your latte like a regular person. The next thing you'll often run into are online recipes for anything made overnight in a mason jar telling you you're not getting enough antioxidants. And one of the ways you can tell if you're not getting enough antioxidants is by looking at your skin and seeing if it's starting to rust. And while they do play a role in your body, the problem with suggesting that you should consume more is that it's fundamentally like saying the more oil you have in your car, the less likely it is to break down, which is not true. Because too much actually makes things worse. The good news is that if you do have too much oil in your car, you can add the excess to your overnight oats because motor oil is also high in antioxidants. Another common idea that's recently started to shift is that you should never skip breakfast, which there is absolutely no scientific basis for except that breakfast food is my favorite. I think the funny thing is that when I used to tell people I skipped breakfast, they thought I was crazy, but now I can say I'm doing intermittent fasting, and they're like, oh, very.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad he brought that up. They literally roasting. Right, exactly.
When in reality, I just woke up.
You see it.
Relatedly, the next thing that's
saw the shift. You saw the shift in the stick man complexion.
Incredibly misunderstood is diet, especially with things like paleo, keto, intermittent fasting, and varying degrees of vegetarianism becoming so popular. We've all heard limitless jokes about how do you know if someone is a vegan? Because they'll tell you, ha ha ha, classic comedy. But that's not even the case anymore. I see way more people on low-carb ketogenic diets post things on the internet like, look at this fool I saw today, eating an apple like an absolute normie, as they show off their Costco haul of pork rinds and butter. The most important thing to know is that generally speaking, weight is regulated by calorie intake, so you have a certain amount of calories you burn in a day, and if you repeatedly intake more than that, you'll gain weight, and if you intake less than that, you'll lose weight.
Okay, now, this just one little quick pit stop. But you can always eat breakfast food for dinner. How do you rust? So, I can actually go back to that. Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. Let me go back to it real quick before I get to talking. And, you know what I'm saying? There you go.
Antioxidants is by looking at your skin and the next thing you'll often run into are online recipes for anything made overnight in a mason jar telling you you're not getting enough antioxidants. And one of the ways you can tell if you're not getting enough antioxidants is by looking at your skin and seeing if it's starting to rust. And while they do play a role in your body, the problem with suggesting that you should consume more is that it's fundamentally like saying the more oil you have in your car, the less likely it is to break down, which is not true. Because too much actually makes things worse. The good news is that you do have too much oil in your car. You can add.
He just made a joke. Okay, I hope you saw it that time. ZJ or 8. All right. So the reason I stopped there with learning to eat is because first and foremost, we eat. Okay, this is gonna sound crazy. I'm sorry, but I gotta say it. All right. We eat every single day. Every single day. So shouldn't everyone know how to cook? Prepare meals? Handle food? I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So that part right there is why I can tell you that it's very, very vital for us to stop on learning how to eat. Because everyone knows how to do that. We even got it down to a science so much that you can even learn how to eat specifically what you want plus what you need. Hence, I stopped on the calories and, that little mathematics right there. Now, this don't actually add up. You know what I'm saying? Because most times I eat for flavor. I don't know about y'all. I'm speaking by myself. I eat for flavor. And I don't be looking at a calorie. I sometimes don't be looking at what it is. I'm eating for flavor. You know what I'm saying? Now, I get lucky sometimes with a whole bunch of, the other day I ate a whole bowl of vegetables with, the salad dressing and whatnot, and it tasted good. and it was vegetables. But we don't put that understanding to eating. So, hence, let's learn how to eat. I'm not going to go into learning how to cook, but I will stop in the kitchen for a quick second. Learn how to cook. Yeah. So how would I look if I am rusting? Hold on. So after we look at this, we're gonna let's do 2 shorts real quick. Get us some quick recipes real quick. And then I'm gonna look into that. We're gonna look right into that. Thank you. Great question. Great question.
Because a lot of people, I think, don't. Let's talk about sautéing. Because a lot of people, I think, don't understand the basics of it. The basic is to put the heat, and we wait.
Again, y'all. Yeah, then to make sure it's good. All right, I'm gonna run that back for y'all.
Let's talk about sautéing, because a lot of people, I think, don't understand the basics of it. The basic progression first is to put an empty pan on the heat, and we wait. When this pan feels hot, when you put some water on there and it dances around, you know that the temperature is hot enough. Then I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the pan. After about 5 seconds or so, the oil will be hot enough for us to lay the protein in there, or whatever it is that you're going to be cooking. And again, we wait. It'll stick right off the bat, and then it will release itself. When it's browned and beautiful and ready to be turned. Let's look at this one. Okay, this is what you want to do when you're sautéing. Let's talk about sautéing.
Now y'all know I gotta get in the kitchen at least 3 hours a week, 5 hours. Oh yeah, I'm gonna stop in the kitchen. All right, now what else we need to learn is, now this gonna sound kind of crazy too, is we need to learn to walk. I think it sounds crazy, but it's so simple that we all can do it. If you cannot do it, I sincerely apologize if I sounded insensitive. But my only aspect is, it's not walking that I want to actually touch upon. What I want to touch upon is the motion. We all need to learn our respective modes of transport or transportation. Now, you gotta stay basic here at Expansion Pack. We not going off into the clouds and into space without having our rocket fuel, without making sure everything is strapped and bolted down, and without having our proper seat belt and PPI quiet, So when we talking about our mode of transport, I mean, when you go from waking up to back to sleep again, how are you moving throughout the day? Are you moving happily? Are you moving just, riding the respective wind? I'm going to ride the wind. I'm going out here however I feel today. Or are you taking the sails, and are you really dictating how you're going to go through? Let me give you an example. So I was angry. I was angry. Things seem to, just to give a background on what I was angry about, things seem to fall apart, not go right, mess up, go to error screen right when I don't need that to happen. Like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to log in. I'm ready to do the show. Show goes that the program's been updated. I was just using it last night. program's been updated. My mic no longer works. I can't figure out why. I've unplugged, replugged, started, stopped. Got 17 different broadcasts. People probably looking like all these notifications. And I'm mad. My day before that happened was, get some chapstick on there. It really make my sound. My day before that was nice because I went to sleep. My program was working. My test run was great. I had played SimCity for a while. Wake up to all of these issues. Now, I am a person who believes in a nice, smooth mode of transport through my life. When we run into turbulence, I get on the radio and I tell myself, hey, back there in the cockpit, we are running into a little bit of slight issues up here, and me and the co-pilot here, your conscious, is we're taking a slight detour around all of this turbulence, and we'll get you right back on course in due time. Please don't panic. You know what I'm saying? I cannot just go off the rails. Boy, I can't go off the rails. You go off the rails, excuse me. You go off the rails, you're going down. We're going down, and Captain can't save you. You feel what I'm saying? So, that should give you a clear understanding of what I say when I say learning to walk. Now, it sounds, if you wasn't a part of the conversation and privy to the examples, metaphors, and analogies I just used, you just think I'm talking about walking. What I'm really talking about is your mode of transport. How do you carry yourself? Choose to carry yourself, not just I'm talking about your being through this reality. I'm going to grab the sails. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take all suggestions from the tower. The tower is up here. I feel sometimes I'm down here and I'm handling the day-to-day paperwork, sliding or doing whatever I got to do to get things right in my life. But sometimes I need those directions. Well, I need all instructions from the tower to be clear, and so I listen. All right. Now, let's see what YouTube tell us. Learning. We already did this. We did it yesterday. Learning to walk. We did this yesterday with the toddlers, right? Now let's look. Oh man, we can't watch the news, y'all. So let me put a couple more words on there. Learning to walk with, daily. Daily. I wonder what the effects is. I walk. I'm sorry, y'all. We can't watch Ted Ed either. But what we can do, what will happen to your body if you walk every day? Let's see what is this, Bright Dime?
It takes 90 seconds for this NASA-engineered AC
reference.
Cool down your room.
Hey, don't buy that thing. The only reason I say don't buy that thing is because I bought something like that, and if y'all taking my recommendations, I bought something like that, and it's great. It's great. But they probably didn't have anything to do with these other people that they showing on the screen. Just get a fan.
10 things that happen to your body if you walk every day. The great Greek physician Hippocrates once said, "Walking is a man's best medicine." Well, he hit the nail right on the head with that one. Walking is totally free, easy, requires little effort, and benefits not only your physical, but also your mental well-being. We're about to get into that, and if you stick around till the end of the video, you'll find out what the FIT formula is and how it can help you out big time.
Okay, now, we are going to go to the end of the video and see how he can help us out big time, but we're going to jump around before that.
Increasing the pressure inside. Improved eyesight. Surprising, right? Moving your legs helps your eyes. How in the heck do they have anything to do with each other? Well, first off, walking can help fight glaucoma by relieving eye pressure. You see, glaucoma develops when too much fluid builds up in the eye, increasing the pressure inside. That pressure, in turn, affects the optic nerve, which results in visual impairment. The Glaucoma Research Foundation recommends walking as one of the best ways to reduce the risk of developing glaucoma and even relieve its symptoms.
Word up. All right, let's go to another one.
Muscles. Muscle tone and weight loss is also totally achievable through simple walking. In fact, just 10,000 steps a day can be just as effective as a full-blown workout at the gym, especially if you add some intervals or uphill walking. Just remember to use correct form though. Keep your spine straight, bend your elbows at a 90-degree angle, swing your arms, and stabilize your pelvis. Find your optimal.
Walking is a great pastime, yes.
But don't break out into a jog. This sort of speed walking is low impact and doesn't require any recovery time, which means no sore muscles to keep you from getting out and walking the next day. Thumbs up if that sounds like something you're
Hey, yes. Hey, listen. That is definitely something I'm looking for. Man, I go out and play some basketball. I'm coming back, and for the next 2.5 weeks, I ain't no good. So walking is definitely something I want.
3.
All right, hold on. We ain't going to see 3. We're going to go straight to the end now.
Health. Try joining a class or find a buddy who also wouldn't mind getting the benefits of walking. Another idea could be to hire a personal trainer. The money you have to pay them is a great motivation for some people. Do you think walking is worth giving a shot? Or maybe you already do it and have success stories to share. We'd love to hear about it in the comments section below. If this video has helped you out at all, hit that.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna hit that thumbs up. It's so funny that he said that one thing, and I'm fast forwarding through the video, and he said that one thing that reeled me in. Only because I'm a strong believer in the fact that I walk every single day. I walk somewhere, I go do something, and so I feel like that's enough. But if I get up and deliberately go out and walk, that can be impactful in a greater way. So, King, you better be ready. You walking, boy. You about to get that walk. About to get that little walk, boy. Now, let's go back to what ZJ or 8 had asked me. So, how do we rust? Let's go. All right. Can people rust? I started cheating. Okay, nah. Be a hero. Uh-oh, hold on. Do humans rust? Antioxidant. Let's see. Free radicals. What is oxidation? Rust in your body. Hey, there you go. He got it quick and simple real quick. Let's see.
Rust. I often use rust as an example of explaining what the essential antioxidant vitamins do in our body. These antioxidant vitamins.
That's how I walk every day. Just my knees have issues. Yeah.
Are
but I don't know. I ain't got no but.
Rust.
And I know you do walk every day.
I often use rust as an example of explaining what the essential antioxidant vitamins do in our body. These antioxidant vitamins are selenium, zinc, and vitamin A. They are essential to delay the rusting process in our body. On our cars, we use special coatings to delay the rusting process. In our bodies, we have to ensure adequate intake of these anti-rust, antioxidant vitamins. Look after the rust, and your bodies will live longer and better. I'm Kent McLeod your natural pharmacist.
That's my man's. Hey, look at Kent. Kent McLeod, our natural pharmacist. That's my boy right there. Listen, I just learned something. So, before I say that, let me switch over to the scene. So if you are on the DGTA page right now, I'm gonna spam it in there right now myself. If you are on the DGTA Twitch page right now watching this show, spam that growing emote in the chat, because I just learned something new. And you hear on TV all the time, you even would remember those, or can remember those Flintstone vitamins. Flintstone vitamins, any kind of vitamin that tells you about, the vitamin A and all the other vitamins that he just was talking about. But when he related it to the car, you would not want to go outside after it rained and, maybe a couple days and see your car rusted. You wouldn't want to eat off of silverware or utensils that are rusted out. I'm talking about rusted out. And so putting it in those terms and looking at my body, I'm like, yo, how long is it going to take me to start getting a little rusty? And that can be helped. Remember, we expanding from simple things. That can be helped by learning to eat. By learning to not only take care of the outside coating, but learning to cook and learning to prepare food that is going to be able to feed you and keep you from rusting. So basically, learning to eat and learning and educating yourself properly keep you young and looking good and feeling good. And of course, if you eating good, you're going to be feeling good and looking good. All right, so that's good. That was a great example of what we here to do every single day on Expansion Pack. So no matter if you are watching on Twitch, if you watching on YouTube, make sure that you are supporting any way that you can by just simply using these things that we learn here in the community to grow yourself. Spread the knowledge that you learn. Use some of these little hacks. Come back, drop a comment, and like and share and tell people about how you actually are learning and growing. You don't have to tell them about how I'm teaching you or where you got it from. Just tell them about how you're learning and growing, and undoubtedly we'll all grow together. All right, so we coming up on our last little 2 minutes of the show today. I'm going to just go and give you a recap on everything that we did. We got us some motivation, of course, from Michelle Obama. She had spoke to us at the opening of the show. And being that we look for the world to be what it is every single day, we don't wake up and be like, oh, it's going to be something different. Maybe the weather may change. Maybe you might meet some new people or different people, but you expect to come back here for the most part every day. You don't know what you're going to dream, but you expect to come back here for the most part every day. And so her message was to the women of the world to actually keep on taking care of the world. Not every day is it that you're going to get all the aspects that you want, but you have to still be there for yourself and be there for those that you create, the world. Anyway, now moving forward, we learn how to eat. We learn how to eat. My message to you is to take everything in your mind right now that you know, and in order to really get something new, take all of that out, bust the egg open, let it run out, and cook up something new. Now, learning to eat ain't just learning to eat. We found out that if you ain't eating right, you start getting rusty. Did you see it? Now, also, we learned that I learned walking is low impact. The whole video was however long, and the only words that I heard and really, really pay attention to was low impact. I go and down when I'm playing basketball, I'm banging to you. I do a layup. How do I get blocked? I gotta switch it. You know what I'm saying? Shins banged up, feet hurting, coming home, sleep for 3 days. So walking is something that's low impact. I won't get that. So that's what I'm taking away from that all day. I hope y'all have been able to hear me this entire time. Let me move my mic a little closer. Now, last but not least, how are you moving through the day? What is your mode of transport through the day? How are you carrying yourself through the day? What emotions are you riding for the most part during the day? And my wisdom to you and to share is make sure you're grabbing the sails. Make sure you're grabbing the controls. Make sure you're at least doing as much as you can to control yourself. Now, that's all that I got from today. That's all I learned from today. This has been another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. I'm going to let y'all watch one of the old episodes as I get on up out of here for the day. Make sure y'all join in again tomorrow, Healthy Mental Thursdays. We got to keep our mental healthy. And there is psychiatrists, there are doctors, there is medicine you can take. But a good old-fashioned episode of Expansion Pack ain't never hurt nobody to try to make their mental feel a little bit better. So I'm going to get off y'all nerves for the day. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. This is DGTA TV. Thank y'all for kicking it with me, and I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Healthy Mental Thursday. Peace. And then... What an old episode. I ain't got no old... Oh, what an old episode. It must not have no sound. That's that Christmas episode. Oh, yeah, y'all gonna like this. I'm going straight to that. Y'all, I'm sorry. I gotta do this to y'all, too.
Don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true.
That's right, girl. Y'all seen that last line. All right. So, what y'all doing? Like I said, what to do for Christmas? What we doing? Where we at? Ooh. Let's go. Let's look at this. like the windows on that. The windows on that was hard body. Dang. Hold on, let me check. Let me check the sound real quick. Hey, Christmas lights. That is nice. Look at the inside. Look, it's like stainless glass windows. Look at that. Yo, that is nice. Hey, y'all know what time it is. Gingerbread House Man. Oh, not with the peppermint. I don't like the peppermint, but peppermint hot cocoa sticks. Hey, that's what's up. Hot cocoa ornament.